What up, the world? It's your boy KG, and I'm on Industry's Most Wanted with TampaMystic.
Yeah, never know life would be so hard you left me, yeah, I don't even know when to kill me, so I gotta keep a gun. Yeah, man, racing on them drugs, I'm on the run. Me and Day, they been sipping all week. Pop like 20 per that week. You don't even know me, You don't even know me, Lil' folks said he...
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast. Boom. Big KG checking in, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Give me some love, first and foremost. Boom. Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the platform, the time, everything. Absolutely,
man. You came in looking super duper fly.
Appreciate it. This is it's from my favorite designer out west. His name's Homeboy the Doc. This is a one-on-one, so
I love it.
He designs like a whole bunch of dope stuff.
Absolutely. So he does one-offs for people.
Yeah, he did whatever you want to design. He also has his own line. So this is called Slayers, and this is like the logo right here.
I love it. That is fire.
He's one of the greatest designers I know. So.
I'm gonna have to get his social media before you leave. Don't let me forget, because I told you my mind.
Yeah, he's out of Vegas. He got one of the best clothing shops out of Vegas on the Strip.
I love that. I love getting stuff, not to get too much of, but we want to give him some shine too. I love getting stuff from people where it's unique, not everybody else has. And it sounds like that's what service that he can provide.
Oh yeah, I got 2 custom jackets from him. They my favorites. So
I love it.
Shout out Homeboy.
Love it, man. Well, listen, thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule on this Saturday afternoon to be here with your girl TampaMystic and Jai. You know what I'm saying? Run down through a little bit of what you got going on, because I know you do multiple things.
So, Miss Tampa, I do multiple things. My main thing that people know me for is working with cameras. So I started with photography, and then I got into visuals. So now, since I moved to Atlanta, I am the multimedia department manager at Patchwerk Recording Studios, and I do content for various companies throughout Atlanta, like The Gathering Spot for one, and different people that independent people as well. Companies, law, hospitals, like local doctors' offices.
Yeah.
So I service a whole bunch of people. I work in politics. Yeah. I work in film, like movie sets, high budget music videos. I just do stuff myself too. So yeah, I do a few things. I like to produce I produce a lot of podcasts. So
nice.
This is my first time. I've been on a podcast, but this is my first time doing a full interview on someone's podcast.
I love that. Listen. Thank you for coming here and letting me be your first interviewer. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. My last guest, she was only 12, and it was her first interview, and it was it was so dope. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing this for so long that I've literally interviewed from little to old, and I love every piece of it, and I respect what you got going on. So where are you from originally?
I am from Lansing, Michigan.
Where it's nice and cold.
Nice and cold and snowy.
Brisky and snowy and icy. Yeah. You grew up there?
Grew up there, born and raised, West Side.
Okay, how long did you reside there?
All my life. I just got here to Atlanta on September 1st, 2016.
Okay, so you're fairly new here. Most definitely. What brought you to ATL?
Patchwerk Recording Studios.
Which is one of those spots in Atlanta, if you guys are not familiar. It's one of those staple spots that I think every artist in creator needs to touch at some point in time, because they are just so well known here. How did that situation present itself to you?
So it came about with DJ Butcher. He's one of the most famous DJs out of Lansing. He's been on tours with some of the biggest people in the world. So yeah, DJ Butcher. I grew up knowing him because I say he's the most famous DJ in Lansing. Yeah. And as I was making my name in Lansing, with my camera and doing stuff, I had got hired for a wedding, and DJ Butcher was the DJ for that wedding. So I've known him all my life. So he saw me, he was like, "Oh man, yeah, I see you always doing stuff with your camera. It's dope to see you here, da da da." And then he told me that him and one of the artists that he works with named Crime 313, they was coming to Atlanta to record a song.
Okay, he's from Lansing as well, the artist?
Detroit, yeah.
Oh, he's from Detroit, okay.
Crime. And Crime, super underground legend, and he did a song in Atlanta at Patchwerk with Corey. Corey is one of the most famous mix engineers, Corey Anders. Okay. And they did a song. This is back when Gucci was locked up and he was selling verses while he was in jail. So they had bought a verse from him.
Oh, okay, yeah. A lot of engineers are doing that.
Yeah, so Crime, he had bought a verse from him and made a song, and he had dang, I cannot remember my boy's name, but he had a hot song in Atlanta. You do what you want when you pop in. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Oh,
when was that from? What era?
That was 2015.
Okay. I probably have heard it. You know how it is when you in my position and you hear like 8 million songs a day, sometimes it's tough to remember, you know?
But he had a feature with him and had one a Gucci verse, and we did it in Patchwerk. And that's how I got introduced to Patchwerk, because before growing up, like I never wanted to be in entertainment.
Okay.
So I always say like I'm a very casual hype fan.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like the biggest fan of you, but I might not ever buy your CD. But I'll be like a super huge fan.
Understood. I'm like that. I'm the same
like
way.
I just got into buying CDs. I was a pirate like most of my life.
Oh yeah, me too. What was it? What was it?
There was Pirate Bay, LimeWire.
LimeWire.
ISO Hunt. ISO Hunt was mine.
What was the Napster?
Napster.
Yeah,
that was the beginning.
That was the first one, I think, before it turned legitimate, right?
Yeah.
I think we all did that.
Yeah. So I didn't know that recording studios like really existed. Like I thought like if you signed to like a major label, like say you signed to Universal,
right?
You would go into Universal's building and they had studios in the Universal building.
Which I could understand why people would think that. Yeah.
Yeah. Lansing's a very small city, so my first studio was like people's houses.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
My homie Fresh B, like we got it out his closet. You know what I'm saying? And then rest in peace to the guy Kaz. He had the most professional studio in Lansing, and he was the one that showed us what a professional studio, like with boards, quality mics, all that, multiple rooms. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but he put Lansing on in terms of quality studios.
Yeah.
So at first, I never knew, like I said, what a real big professional studio was till I came to Patchwerk. I never heard of Patchwerk.
Yeah.
And DJ Butcher was like, hey, we'll hire you to come down and capture him doing his song and stuff at Patchwerk because it's legendary.
Yes.
And that was in 2015. Then Patchwerk, they do a lot of dope events for independent artists and just people that want to learn about, you know, how to be in music.
Yeah.
It's called I Do Music. So the I Do Music program is a nonprofit that they do. And they came to Michigan. They came to Flint, Michigan, to do a week of I Do Music weekend.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, they have like people to talk to, sit down, and kind of like a Q&A. They have showcases and stuff like that. And so they do it all around in Atlanta. And so they brought it up to Flint.
Oh, okay.
And so Flint from Lansing is like a good 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up in both cities because my grandpa had a farm out in Flint.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
I really grew up on a farm.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I love the farm life and the country life. That's so dope.
I grew up riding horses. Like,
wow.
I used to fight the animals. Like,
you was a warrior out there.
Listen, I was that kid where I would put a helmet on and me and the little billy goats would ram into each other.
Yo, I'm dead. That is so funny. But that's like living right there.
It is.
That is living. Like, it's no shade to growing up in the city, because I grew up in Tampa, which is a fairly big city. But when I would go to Ohio, my grandparents lived in this little small city called Nelson, and it was still literally Amish country.
Wow.
And they had farmland. And I, as a child, enjoyed that so much more, like, because I'm a nature junkie. Did you enjoy growing up, you know, being able to be around that?
Oh yeah, it's the reason I am the way I am today. Like my grandpa he owned this farm. Like he didn't lease it, he didn't pay rent. Like he bought it with cash.
Okay.
He had about 27 acres.
Wow.
Bought it with cash from he was a horse racer, and so he has to this day he has the highest, I would say, the fastest track record in Michigan for horse racing. And they call them purses. So he won some of the biggest purses in Michigan, because at the time, black people didn't do anything with horse racing.
Right.
That was like the real gambling back then.
Yeah.
And that was a white man's game.
Yeah.
So my grandpa was the only black man on the track that owned his own horse.
I know, that's right.
Jockey. And so everybody did bet against him. And when he won, he freaking quadrupled that
I
purse.
know, that's right. What is your grandfather's name?
Willie C. Florence. He's the greatest man I ever knew.
Willie C. Florence. Grandparents are so special, aren't they?
They are.
They're so special and so irreplaceable. Is he still with us?
Actually, next month will be 1 year.
Gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's difficult, isn't it?
It is. It's still. That was my best friend.
Yeah.
Like we talk.
Don't make me cry. I get emotional.
Make me cry. That's why I didn't last long. Cause man,
it's emotional. I understand. I've lost my sister, my mother, grandparents. Like, it's difficult losing people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. Trust me, I be getting them. I still cry about it. You know what I'm saying? We're human. And that's where the human element comes in. Like I was talking to, Kaki about, it's difficult, but we have to keep pushing. Now, did the horse racing and his horses, were they passed down within the family after he passed?
Yeah, so we still have his farm. My dad and my uncle, because he had 2 sons, they own the farm now.
Where at?
It's in Flint.
Okay.
It's a city outside of Flint, but it's basically Flint.
Understood, yeah.
And so yeah, like when I go up there, like I go to it all the time. It has a big track. Like that's where I learned how to do everything. Like we planted crops, pumpkins, turnips.
That's dope.
Tomatoes, potatoes. He had a lake out there too, so we went fishing. We built go-karts. That's how I learned how to drive, stick shift. Like,
wow.
And my grandpa was like, he was one of them like strong like an ox kind of man. So
I love it.
I watched him literally break a bull, like them bulls with them big horns.
Wow.
He jumped the fence, and everybody's like,
he was the warrior.
He was the warrior.
Bless his heart. That is,
he was the greatest man I ever knew. Man.
Listen, he sounds like it. He sounds like he is absolutely amazing. I wish I would have had the opportunity to meet him. I love meeting people like that. Like my grandmother right now, she'll be 100 years old in June, and she's still, she's still with us. She's still independent. She lives alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I love talking to people like that because they've seen so much. They've
seen it all.
Wisdom, right? Is he buried up there?
Yeah, and then he is. I think no, he's not buried necessarily. He had
cremated. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's my wishes too.
Yeah.
When I pass, every person, not to get off on a tangent, every person, and I learned this like from when my mom passed, you have to have a living will because your loved ones need to know what to do with your body. Yeah. Do they bury you? Do they cremate you? Do they throw you in the ocean? Like, realistically, we have to have living wills because we want to make sure that when we transition, our body is where we want it to be. Yeah. So, just
that's what he wanted.
Throw it out
there. To go to Africa. He wants his ashes spread off the tallest mountain in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro. So
that is so amazing. I want to listen. That's where I want to live at.
Yeah, I've been out there. I went to South Africa. Shout out to the homie Jeff, and it was his birthday, and he had a whole birthday party out there. Invited me out to Cape Town. Yeah, we stayed in Camps Bay. It was my first time out the country.
Amazing experience.
It was beautiful.
You didn't want to come back, did you?
Nah, and that was my grandpa was a Black Panther. He was a Black Panther.
Yeah, like
he still wore the hat.
I love it
to the very last day. So
I love it.
He was there in Chicago when Fred Hampton was assassinated.
Wow. That's that history I'm talking about, that wisdom. Like when we talk to our elders, I love learning about that stuff because we never lived through it. But it's important that we know like our heritage, our culture. We need to know that stuff. I be picking my grandmother's brain all the time. Every time I talk to her, we on the phone for at least an hour just talking about stuff.
I would tell her next time you see her, like, because you do this, like do a conversation where you record it. Like
that's a great idea. I never thought about that. Y'all heard it. Listen, look at this guy. Give me some love, man. Boom. I love that. That is a great idea. Yeah. Definitely. So going back to like, how did you get started into doing film and picking up the camera?
So I would say it started right after, like that summer after high school.
Okay.
One of my classmates was selling a Canon T3, and he let me buy it from him. But before that, I've always been interested in cameras.
Yeah.
Like some of my biggest inspirations was like Spike Lee, Malcolm X, Spider-Man. I would say those like
the legends.
Ones. Yeah.
The legends.
Like first, I would say Spider-Man definitely got me interested in photography.
Okay.
Spike Lee got me interested in films.
Yes, because his films are so dynamic. They're so different. Like if you ever watch a Spike Lee film, it's a Spike Lee film because he's so creative with how he actually does the camera angles. Cinematography is important. I'm sure you understand all that. So, okay, so right out of high school.
They re-released Malcolm X.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
The Spike Lee one. I went to see it in theaters. That was a dream, seeing Malcolm X in theaters. It was beautiful. Yeah. It still looks amazing to this day.
That is awesome. I love it. I love it. So right out of high school, you bought this Canon camera. What did you do with it?
I took a picture of my dog, Goliath. That was my first picture. It was my dog.
Aww,
he was a Rottweiler. He was the smartest dog ever.
Yeah, Rottweilers dogs period are intelligent, but Rottweilers are very intelligent.
Yeah, so That was the first. I still got those pictures too. But the reason I got a camera was, one, I always liked pictures because I used to read the Spider-Man comic books, and I was like, before I knew what a camera was called, a DSLR, I used to call them Peter Parker cameras. Because I just knew that, this is a camera Peter Parker used to take his pictures of Spider-Man and sell them. Yeah. And so I got the idea, like, man, instead of paying for college with loans and being in debt, what if I get a camera and just make money that way to pay for college? That was my whole reason to get in the camera, was like, this is going to be the way I pay for school.
Y'all better listen to this guy. He a hustler, baby.
Yeah. So that was my reasoning for getting the camera, was to turn it into a business. I never thought it would turn into what it has turned into.
That's amazing.
But it's one of those, you speak it and it happens. And like, what they say, tell God your plan. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Like, I plan to do a certain thing and it happened.
Manifest
but it happened in a way that I never would have imagined.
Absolutely. You have to manifest it. I believe in that. Yeah. You have to talk about it as if it already exists in order to see it and believe it and manifest it, and it sounds like you're spiritual.
I definitely am. I'm still on the journey of finding my faith. Yeah. But I grew up with my grandma. She's a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. My mom's side of the family, they're Jehovah's Witnesses. So I know they get a bad rep online with the whole knocking on the door and stuff like that. But Jehovah's Witnesses have always been some of the nicest people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like going to the Kingdom Hall. And I read the watchtowers and stuff. That's the pamphlets that they hand out. Yeah. They're called watchtowers, and they're really insightful. I won't say that I am a Jehovah's Witness, but that started my journey into spirituality. But I read a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm very, I won't say deep, but I get into like the 5%ers, just the whole like Muslim faith. I've gotten into Buddhism. Yeah. I've read like the story of see, now I'm trying to think of the names, but I'm not even going to try to butcher it, but I've gotten into like Buddhist teachings. I like to just learn. I've gotten the African teachings.
Absolutely.
It's just so much out here. Like, I don't know. I've gotten into the whole like aliens that create everything. Anunnaki, like they created everything. Like,
me and my dad are aliens. I'm so serious.
Yeah, like I read all of that with an open mind. Like, I'm very much into just like, why?
As you should. I'm a believer. This is my belief, and it sounds like you and I are kind of on the same path. We can take a little bit from each religion and kind of make it our own. I grew up in a household where my dad had a Buddha statue, and my dad is an alien, I'm telling you. He built a 6-foot pyramid and would sit inside there and meditate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, in his living room to this day, he has this huge shelf with a bunch of like, just like statues and stuff from Egypt. That's dope. Yeah, I grew up in a house, so that's why I'm so infatuated and I want to go there.
Yeah, Egypt is definitely like super top bucket list.
Yeah, super top bucket list. Yeah. Super, like I would love to be buried there, honestly. Really? I just feel in tuned. I don't know, I think in my past life, I lived there.
You know who I think I was in a past life? One of my past lives? I think I was a doorman in New York City.
That's interesting.
You know those like doormen that wear the red suits and the hats, and they just open the door for like famous people, Marilyn Monroe's and stuff. Like, I think I was that in a past life.
That is dope.
It's so random, but I just felt like,
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. A lot of people don't think that deep, and I love that you do, because I think super deep. I'm one of the people who will sit back and think about, how did all this begin? Yeah. Where did it start?
My theory is, like, I believe in the Big Bang, but I believe God caused the Big Bang.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I think he had an idea, and that was the spark. That was the bang, the brain blast that, the spiritual brain blast that God had, and he imagined us.
Yes. Absolutely. And look where we're at now.
Yeah. So I definitely believe in God, but I'd be thinking like them higher dimensions. And,
yeah, me too.
Yeah. I'd be like, can I astral travel? Like,
right. Listen, my biggest thing, if I could have any superpower, I'd want to teleport.
Really?
That would be it. That I can go from A to B in a matter of a second.
Yeah.
Because like the whole traveling process, some places take 24 hours to get to by plane. Let me jump in my little teleport machine and be there instantly. That's what I would want.
You ever watch Interstellar?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you haven't, that's your movie right
No,
there.
that's my dad is the one, because my dad and I are like, we're nerds when it comes to stuff like that. He was the one that told me to watch it. That is dope. Sounds like we have a lot in common on that aspect. I think that's fire.
Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely. So you came out here with DJ Butcher, got introduced to Patchwerk. They loved your work.
I wouldn't say that. It was
Yeah,
more,
see, they did. They loved his work.
it was like a year later they came to Flint. And
Okay.
so Osman Bangura, I think I said that right. My bad, Oz, if I didn't. But he is he's one of the managers of the studio, and he's also the manager of the marketing department.
Okay.
So he puts on all the events for I Do Music.
Got you.
And it was him, Curtis Daniel, and Mike Wilson. Mike Wilson and Curtis Daniel, they're the two owners of Patchwerk. So all three of them came up to Flint to put on the I Do Music weekend. And at the time, like I said, Lansing to Flint's about 40 minutes.
Okay.
I was broke. Like when I thought I only had $20 in my account. And I had called.
We've all been there.
Yeah, I literally called DJ Butcher like, yo, I know they doing their thing out there. Like, you think it's worth going? Like, is this 20 all I got? Is there even, because I was like, man, when I came to Patchwerk, I was like, yo, this is the greatest thing ever. Like,
Absolutely.
I would love to do something. So when I saw them coming up to Flint, I was like, man, I got to go up there and just network type of thing. So he told Butcher, was like, man, you got to follow your heart pretty much. Like, you know, do what you think is best. You know, you already been there. You know what they're about.
Yeah.
So I threw literally my last $20 in my tank and I drove to Flint. And,
Stepping out on faith.
Yeah, I got there before the event started, like while they was still setting up, and talked to Mike, talked to Curtis, and you know they gave me some good words, but it was nothing like, you know, major. Curtis gave me his number and was like, yo, hit me up if you ever want to talk, because Curtis, he played at Michigan State. He was a Michigan State football player, so that's how he knows DJ Butcher. They used to have a radio show at Michigan State. So Curtis Daniel, he played football. He's from California.
Okay.
But he got recruited to play at Michigan State. And so he had a lot of people out in Flint. That's why he did it out in Flint.
Yeah.
And after I spoke with him, I talked to Osman, and I was telling Oz, like, yeah, because he was in the middle of planning the event. So I was like, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Right.
But when I came with Butcher, you know, we had good conversations. So I had just told him, like, yo, anytime I'm in Atlanta, I'm going to let you know when I pop in. If you ever need me to do anything, shoot, just let me know. Like, I'm down to shoot.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah. And so he was like, well, shoot, man. If you want, I'll give you an internship if you want to move to Atlanta. And so I was like, oh, shoot, for real? He was like, yeah, just let me know. And so I thought about it, and he gave me his email and everything, and I emailed him, because this was like in like May.
Okay, of 2015?
2016.
2016,
I came there. I went there in like the summer of 2015.
Got
so
you.
it's literally a year later.
Okay.
And I told him, like, well, shoot, after summer, I can get down there. So I was already doing an internship at my first internship at somewhere called the Lansing Public Media Center.
Yeah.
And it was through like the mayor's office and stuff like that.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah. So I used to do like those public broadcasts of like city council and stuff, those city meetings. I used to stream that stuff. But I was like, I'm going to finish this internship, and then I'm going to go down to the Patchwerk and do that internship. And I did June, July, August at the Lansing Public Media Center. Literally left August 31st. Wow. Walked into Patchwerk September 1st, 2016.
That is amazing. Listen, that was all God right there.
Yeah.
100%. Because if you hadn't taken that step out on faith to put that your last $20 in the tank to make your way over there to network and connect with those guys, provided you with their contact information, and boom, look where it tuned. You have to take risk in life.
Definitely.
We have to be risk takers. And not to mention, coming to a city like ATL, to Atlanta, there's so much opportunity out here. There's a lot of people here, but there's still so much opportunity. Like, you can come out here and thrive. So you got here, started your internship with them. What has that developed into for you in Patchwerk?
So the internship was originally supposed to just be 3 months. So I was still kind of going. I was going back to Lansing all the time because I was super homesick. Like, it was a culture shock coming down here.
Yeah, imagine.
And I said, I'm a farm boy.
Yeah.
So coming to the big city, like, I used to go travel and stuff, but living here, it was like, I don't hear any birds really. Like, it's so loud and everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so,
that's funny.
I did the internship, but then I thought I was gonna be done, so I went back home. And then some things happened, a lot of BS. This was in December. I got back after New Year's, like January. And I let them know, like, yo, I'm still kind of here and everything. I'm going to start the internship up again. And a few months go by, maybe like I said, maybe 3 months or so. And Curtis Daniel, like I said, one of the co-owners of the studio, he had called me and was like, "Hey man, was thinking you actually want a job here. Like, what if we pay you to do these visuals?" And so I was like, shoot, yeah, I was doing security and random odd jobs and stuff like that. I was actually, I was doing a lot of staging too. Like before I got into doing media and stuff like that, I was an assistant stage manager for like concerts and festivals.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah, I was a stage hand.
Coordinating everything. Okay.
Not everything, but I would assist and everything like that, or I would do camera out for.
He's so humble. He said not everything.
I would say it takes a lot of people. So
no, it does. It takes a village. Understood.
Yeah,
but you probably learned every aspect of it, though. Even though, absolutely.
It was dope. Like I did the Midtown Music Festival when I got down here.
Nice.
I did the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
I went on tour with Beyonce. I did Adele. Like,
wow.
I did some pretty dope stuff.
Pop your ish. I love it.
Who runs the Girls Run the World?
Yeah.
Like 3 cities.
Yeah. And that is fire.
Yeah. So that I was still kind of in that world when I was doing the stuff at Patchwerk, and that's how I got into entertainment. Actually was doing concerts and festivals. It was from the first festival in my city, not the first, but the only festival in my city. It's a small city, Common Ground Music Festival. And I literally got that job the summer I got out of high school. So this all happened like in the summer, because I decided to go to college in the summer, because I was thinking like, yo, cause I want to be a mechanical engineer. Like I want to be a scientist.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I said I never had plans of being in entertainment. My goal was to be,
you.
Yeah, I would want to be a medical scientist.
Wow.
Yeah, like I wanted to build like improve X-ray machines and stuff,
that
and like
is amazing.
Make inventions. I wanted to build a time machine, honestly. So
listen, you and my dad need to meet, because my dad's so into all that stuff too. Like I remember when I was little, he would build like little gadgets and stuff. Like I told you, he built a 6-foot pyramid and sat in it and meditate. It was so dope. Like, and he did other stuff too. I'll tell you about off camera.
So I was going to school in the summer right after high school, and in the summertime they do the Common Ground Music Festival. One day I was like, I woke up late. I would always ride my bike. It's a small city, so I was just riding my bike. So I rode my bike to school. And this was like June, because I said I went straight into, right after high school, went straight into college at my community college, LCC.
Yeah.
And as I'm riding my bike, as I'm late to class, and I was like, damn, my teacher gonna be mad, I'm late, da-da-da. I see my homie, or he calls me. I hear my name called, like, yo, Keyshawn. And I look over, and it's my homie Ishmael. And like I've known him since 2nd grade. Yeah. So like we go way back. And I see him working on something. I'm like, oh, what up, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, he graduated a year before me. So I was like, yo, I haven't seen you in a minute. Like, what's going on? He's like, man, I got this job at Common Ground. And I was like, dang, you work in the festival? Like, that's super sweet. Like, Big Sean was going to be headlining the festival. This is like when he first got on and stuff, finally famous. And so I was like, yo, that's lit. How do I get on in it? And I had seen other people like getting those jobs. Yeah. And I was like, he's like, yo, those are the people over there. That's who you got to talk to. So I super finessed them. Like, I saw somebody on Facebook post that they got hired, and like a bunch of them got hired. And so I went over to them, and I literally was like, yo, y'all told me I was hired and everything. I put my application in.
I'm so dead.
I came with my guy. You know, I was with Daniel. I think that's who I saw posted, was the big homie Daniel. And I was like, yeah, I was with Daniel the other week. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, oh yeah, I thought he quit. I thought you was gonna quit. Like, no, I'm still working.
I'm
like,
so dead.
For some reason, I didn't get the text or nothing. It was looking for my name and information. It was like, oh, so I think we just threw it away. We got to have you sign everything again. But yeah, you can start. And that's how I got the job.
Look at this guy over here. That is so. Listen, in life, again, you have to take risk and you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, and that was the greatest summer ever, because we was in there, and so it was 3 stages, stage A, B, and C. Yeah. And stage B was the second biggest stage, and that's normally where I was at. Right. And so something happened where the person that was running that stage got into it, I guess, with the people that's running the festival. And I got the opportunity. I got offered to be the assistant stage manager for stage B. Yeah. And that was my first time in that type of position. And I was like, oh shoot, yeah, let's run it. And from there, Diamond Jones, shout out D Jones, he put me on with another staging company. And then I just met other people, networked, got with another staging company, Rhino Staging. Came down here. I forgot the staging company's name, but they're the ones I did like Adele and Beyonce with. So that's how I really got all into entertainment. And then getting back down here, doing the internship when Curtis offered me the job, I was like, well, shoot, I need to go all in on this. So I'm like, you know, I don't have to do that. Not saying I don't have to, but if I can focus on this and grow this will be dope.
Yeah.
So I got out of the staging world and I just, you know, got hired at the studio, and it was really like it's a eat what you kill type of environment.
Yeah.
So after a few months of just working and finding my footing, Curtis had told me, he was like, yo, I think you really got a good opportunity here. You can do whatever you want. It's going to be however big your imagination makes it.
I love
and
that.
I'm a really big imaginator.
Yeah.
I imagine all the time. So that's like my favorite word.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I was like, well, shoot, I want to build like my own production team. I want to have my own department.
Yeah.
And so he allowed me to create the multimedia department of Patchwerk.
That is amazing.
And it's legit. Like that was in 2017. And I've had interns around the website. We got PDFs with just services and rates. We got the Day at Patchwerk, aka the DAT Pack, and that's like one of the most popular video service packages we have at the studio. Currency's done it, Chrisette Michelle, a whole bunch of people.
Good
Scribbles,
for you.
Scribbles that you interviewed on here.
Yeah, shout out to Scribbles.
Shout out Scribbles who.
Yeah, I love her.
She is super dope.
Super dope.
Talented.
Super talented and she has great energy too.
Oh yeah.
I'm big on people's energy. That is amazing.
Yeah, so we got a lot of services. I put a studio in a studio. I created a photography studio called Studio 93 at Patchwerk. And so that's the latest studio in the studio. It's a photography studio.
That is amazing. You've like really came in there and put your touch on it. So for people who are not kind of sure exactly what like those packages and stuff entail, like everything that you can offer, if you don't mind running through it.
So we're a multimedia service that provides graphics, logos, any type of design, photography, headshots, promotional photos, graduation photos. When it comes to videos, it's like, well, shoot, what do you want to shoot? Like music videos, commercials, podcasts, you know what I'm saying? We do live streaming, and we service a lot of people. And we're definitely blessed to service like some really dope big names.
I love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. You deserve all of that because you worked for it.
Thanks.
You seen what it's like to have $20 in your account and have to it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Trust me, I was a single mom at 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
I had times where I was like, I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. Like it's a struggle. But when you look in hindsight and look back, I think we appreciate that because it really instilled in us how to be a hard worker and appreciate everything, because you appreciate everything, right?
I learned this quote, or it's a way to say thank you, because I just used to say it regular, and then I went to a store in a little 5 Points called Earth Tone.
Yeah.
Best store in the world.
I have to check it out.
It's owned by Miss Lanique's Earth Tone, and she told me, instead of saying thank you is a selfish way to say thank you. You're supposed to say I give thanks.
I give thanks. I like that.
You got to really give the thanks.
Absolutely.
When you say thank you, it's just coming from a place of self. When you give thanks, you're giving yourself.
I got to retrain myself to say that.
Yeah.
I give thanks. What is her name?
Lanique's.
Lanique's. Shout out to you, my love. Yeah. I give thanks. I'm going to have to retrain myself to say that.
I retrained myself. When she put me on to that, it put me on game, and that knowledge right there. So I give thanks every day. Like a thing I've been saying for about a year now. When people ask me how you doing and stuff, but sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm good, but I'd be lying. Or sometimes I'd be 100 with them, yeah, I'm not doing too good. Yeah. But these days I just be I'm alive, so I'm great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It could be way worse, because the truth is, in my opinion, the only thing we're guaranteed in life is that our clock's going to expire at some point in time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Death and taxes.
I don't even count that, because there's people who evade them taxes.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? There's people
who know the game.
Yeah, people be evading them taxes. So the major taxes, because you do got to pay it when you go to the grocery store. So you're right, death and taxes, right? Mm-hmm. But it's why we have this time on earth, man, we have to absolutely enjoy every second of it, because we've been live for 33 minutes. We are both 33 minutes older.
Wow, yeah.
We got to think that deep into it. So that's why it's you have to step out on faith and take some risk. And I'm so glad you did, because look where you're at now. You're on top of your game. You built a whole team, a whole new department. In your wildest dreams, did you ever think that was going to happen?
Nah, no. I wanted to be the greatest explorer and scientist this world's ever seen.
Yeah.
So that's what I grew up saying. I never had dreams of being in entertainment business. Like I said, I was a casual fan. Like I didn't read like the gossip magazines. I barely even watched MTV and BET. I just did it for the music videos. And even then it was like if I'm scrolling, like I was still in the cartoons and stuff. So if I catch you on the radio or I just see something, like I wasn't on the blogs, I wasn't on like what's the sites, the mixtape sites and stuff,
like live mixtapes.
Like I wasn't really on them unless it's like my cousin Nick the Saint. He had .5, one of the most classic tapes he ever did. He had like a feature with JT Money on there, and so that's on that.
Now that's a classic. Shout out JT Money.
Shout out JT Money and Nick the Saint. You know what I'm saying? So I would listen to that on that pit. But like I'm one of those people that if I know you, I'm a bigger fan of you because I know you. So like absolutely. I support like the people I know. Like one of the dopest artists in my life, Ball Forever, and he's from Flint, and he's one of the dopest artists I ever met. You know what I'm saying? So I support music. I'm a big supporter when I know you more than just if you're famous.
Absolutely. I agree. And that's why I love what I do with this, because I do interview people that are not music artists like yourself.
Yeah.
But majority of the people that book are artists. And I love that because I like being a part of people's journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool if a superstar comes through, but really Slick, I like people who are still on their path of rising up because I feel like I get to be a part of their journey and learn about them. Just like there's so much stuff that you shared with me today that like blew my mind. I didn't know you were a farm guy, you know what I'm saying? And I love that. I absolutely love that. So outside of Patchwerk, what services do you offer for people if they want to book with you?
So even you don't have to book a studio session at Patchwerk to book us. We do offsite work as well. And when it comes to editing, like if you live in Alaska and you need something edited, we have a team of editors, you know what I'm saying? So I do a lot of editing for other companies, and I might not be on site at all, but I'm editing all the time. Like I'm editing something pretty much every day, whether it's promotional clips, whether it's marketing material, branding material. The whole team's always working. Like Simone, she runs our photo studio.
Okay.
And she's like the creative director for Patchwerk Studios. And so she runs the BTM podcast. She runs the Inky Johnson, Serendipity podcast. She does a whole headshot service, and like she's doing that every day. These are weekly shows.
Wow.
Jay Wills, he does our graphics. He got people like, yo, I need a flyer for my party. You know what I'm saying? I need an album cover. I need a song cover. So he's creating covers and logos every day.
That is amazing.
So every day we're working, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty dope. I got to shout out Samani too. She's also a graphic artist there. And she was there before I got there and was doing graphics at Patchwerk. She's from the VA. And I got to shout her out because she's always working too.
That is dope. I'm glad that you kind of broke that down, because I think a lot of people who are familiar with Patchwerk only associate it with being a recording studio, but you guys offer so much more. You know?
Oh yeah, we do a lot, man. Like we got a whole green screen. Like I did a video during the pandemic with Jid, and it was for Adult Swim, and they needed green screen. So we have a whole green screen we set up in our Studio 93, our live room.
Yeah.
So, and he shot on that. So
tell everybody where Patchwerk in Atlanta, if they're not familiar with the location of it, where is Patchwerk located in Atlanta?
It's on 1094 Hemphill Avenue. It's off the north side, off of 10th Street, off of 14th. It's in the middle of all that.
Yep.
It's by Antico's Pizza. If you know Atlantic Station with IKEA, it's literally around the corner from that IKEA in Atlantic Station. It's right off the highway from Turner. Like it's in that central
super
spot.
Centrally. I'm about to say super centrally located.
We got private parking.
That was going to be my next question, because that type of stuff concerns people when they go, especially if they're doing late night recording sessions. So they've got private parking and all that as well.
Yeah, man, we got everything. And I say it's been open going on 30 years.
Yeah.
And I got a shout out to the people that made it happen, like Curtis Daniel, Bob Whitfield. He played for the Falcons, and that's how it all started. Razkaz, the reason Patchwerk is Patchwerk, one of the greatest legendary hip hop artists of all time.
Yeah.
And he grew up with Curtis Daniel and Bob Whitfield. They all grew up in California.
That's dope.
And they came together, a bunch of black brothers, and was like, let's build a studio and let's push our friend. And we believe he could be the biggest artist in the world. And shoot, he got with Dre, he got with Coolio, he did his thing.
Absolutely. It's legendary over there. It's definitely one of those, like I refer to as a staple in Atlanta, that everybody at some point in time, even if you go over there, maybe just take a tour. Yeah. Because it's so legendary.
Free tours too. Free tours.
Free tours. Is there room on your team for any type of internships? Because I know people like Jai over here who's getting into filming and stuff like that. Is there room for internships?
We have internships at all levels. So we have engineering internships. We have marketing internships. I said Osman, he runs the marketing department. Luke, he runs the engineering department. He's like a 2-time Grammy-winning engineer, one of the greatest engineers ever. And then we have the media department. Yeah. Like right now, we have a super dope intern. His name's Bryce Green, and that guy, he's gonna be something in the media world. He's going to Morehouse right now, but he's an intern right now doing his thing.
That is dope. I love that you guys over there as a whole, it's a team, it takes a village, are presenting opportunities for people to excel and be great.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of Patchwerk. Really, it was like if you we have a documentary that we produced, that I directed, and Curtis is on there, Bob Whitfield, BJ Kerr, he was one of the founders, a whole bunch of people that just created Patchwerk, and they'll tell you like, man, we created this because they wouldn't let us in. Yeah. So we decided to let ourselves in. Absolutely. And they didn't want to give us the knowledge, so we had to learn. So now this Patchwerk pays it forward, like the ID music programs, like the weekend workshops. You know, we bring in people like someone like yourself that has all this industry experience, you know, to talk to people, to let them know like this is what it is.
I would love to do something like that.
Yeah, so it's like we give back to the community. We do a 5K every year.
I need to be a part of that.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love.
We did one last year for the 50 years of hip hop with the city of Atlanta. And we literally shut down the streets and we run around.
Let me know, please, because I'm like you. I'm very outdoorsy. When the weather's right, you do not catch me anywhere but like on a trail. I love hiking. I love walking. I love doing all that. So please keep me posted. I would be interested in that for sure.
I will. Because I gotta say too, like the way Patchwerk is set up is based on the core values that Curtis Daniel created and thought of. Like,
shout out to Curtis Daniel.
Shout out Curtis. Like,
he's a legend.
He is super legend. He will never say it himself.
We're giving you pause. We're giving you your flowers right now. Look at this camera. We giving your flowers.
Shout out
Kurt, man, like you are a legend. You're really out here helping people, like just selfless. Yeah. And I love that. I love people like that. Those are the type of people and yourself too. You've now put people in positions to win. You deserve your flowers too. What kind of flowers you like?
I don't ever feel like that, but that's why I stepped out to do this with you, because I be like, I shout out Pink Noise. She's somebody that always big me up and push me. Like, she put me on my first podcast.
I love it,
and she always pushed me to do more and feel like yo, Keyshawn, like you got to put yourself out there.
You do. Have you ever thought about maybe doing your own podcast?
I actually have a show coming out.
Tell us about it. Yes, that's dope.
I do. It's inspired because of Pink Noise.
Shout out to Pink Noise.
Yeah, the greatest CEO
Got my
ever.
Pink on today.
Yeah, shout out Pink. And she told me like, yo, you need your own show. So it's called the Key Memory Chronicles.
That is dope. So is she going to be producing the show for you?
She doesn't even know I made it yet. Nobody actually knows. I'm just
surprise.
Yeah, I shot it last year. I got 5 episodes.
Oh, and you shot them at Patchwerk?
Yep, shot it at Patchwerk. Bryce, he edited it. Shout out James, he interned and he shot it.
That is amazing.
He made the logo for it, and I'd be doing so much other work that's like something on the side. But I got some really dope people on there. Actually, it's some really. It was me like being like, you know how you are hosting and stuff.
Absolutely.
And it was cool. It was a great experience. I've been telling myself to drop it, so now that I said it, like I really.
You have now. You got to. It's on film.
Everything.
It's
I got clips. I got a trailer. I got everything ready. I just gotta do it.
Absolutely, and it's like once you do, you'll totally get in the rhythm of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And that's why I told you I started the talk show segment, because my interviews are kind of just sporadic. You know what I'm saying. I want something that every Monday you can look forward to a new episode of Real Talk with Tampa. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that name too.
Thank
Real
you.
Talk with Tampa.
Yeah, you're gonna come be a guest on there with
Definitely.
me. We're gonna come up with whatever topic we come up with, and we're gonna talk about it. You know,
Yeah, I gotta shout you out too, Tampa. Like you got mentioned how you became a mom at 19.
I did.
Yeah, my mom had me at 15.
Wow.
She was 15 when she had me.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she's definitely like one of my greatest inspirations.
It's your first love.
Yeah, my mom, she's a real G. Like she's real gangster.
I love. Is she still in Michigan?
Yep, she's still in Michigan. She really, if she didn't have me, not in a bad way, she would have been in WNBA. Like she was one of the top basketball players in Lansing.
She's a hooper.
Yeah, she's a straight hooper. Like she was a baller. Like that type of baller. Like
what is your mom's name?
Tia Chanel Wright.
Tia Chanel Wright. Yeah. We love you.
Shout out to you.
No, that is really dope. And listen, having a child at 15, I can imagine that was major life changing. I had mine at 19, very life changing, you know, right out of high school. So I definitely commend her for raising you to be a man. That's your first love right there.
Yeah.
I believe that. As a boy, your first love is your mom. Me as a girl, my first love is my father.
Yeah. No, my mom is like, she's the dopest. I love her a lot. I got to get a better relationship with her. I be one and one. It's just, you know, going through life.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing, but she's super dope. Like I had Michael B. Jordan shout her out when I worked with him. And that was something dope I did for her birthday.
Wow. So, now I know she loved every woman like Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. So I be trying to do dope little stuff like that where I can.
That is dope. That is dope. So I know you work with your team at Patchwerk. You're super locked in with that. If somebody wants to book just you to maybe come do a shoot or something for them, is that something that you offer as well?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's say we do full on productions.
But like you as an individual.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. So I do that. Like if you just want to shoot with me, you can shoot with me. Like I'm working.
So what all, like as an individual, you should do like music videos and
music videos, podcasts,
photo
corporate
shoots?
commercials, photo shoots. Like literally everything that we do in the multimedia department, I do it.
Okay, got you.
I do all that stuff. And even if it's just about getting creative, like I like doing like real creative stuff. Like let's break a mirror and get some different refractions and reflections off of light.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go shoot on top of a building. Like,
yes.
We do droning, so we got a whole drone fleet that we do and everything. Like I said, we live stream. I'll live stream. I got different drones, so yeah, we do it all.
Have you tapped into doing Foley at all?
No, that we do Foley at Patchwerk, the engineers, but me personally, I don't do Foley. So when I'm on like a movie set or just a film set, because I started as a PA, like actual production assistant, because I know a lot of people kind of be this is why I don't talk a lot, I guess, because I don't want to come off as I'm the biggest ever. I be wanting people to know like it is a journey, it is a process. 100%. So I started as an unpaid PA, even while I was being as an intern being unpaid. And even when I started getting paid at Patchwerk, I went and PA'd for free with Right Media. Shout out Sam Green. He was a co-owner of Right Media and a producer. Yeah. And he put me on. And I got shot at Cam Kirk, the big homie. He introduced me to Right Media when Gucci got out, because Gucci came up at Patchwerk. So anytime he got out, he would come to Patchwerk. So the most recent time when everybody thought he was a clone, he came to Patchwerk again and was doing his stuff. And Cam was shooting a music video for him. Yeah,
which he's one of the best.
Yeah, Cam Kirk is the greatest out here for sure.
Facts.
And he introduced me to Sam, and because he had Right Media people shooting with Gucci, and he directed it, and that was one of the greatest. When people talk about like industry stories and stuff, I don't ever get into it, but I do have those moments. And that moment with Cam, it's legendary, because it was Cam Kirk, it was Gucci Man, it was Metro Boomin, and Young Dolph.
Man, wow. Now that just gave me chills.
And Rick Ross, all that Patchwerk.
That gave me chills. That's amazing.
He was there from QC, and then they all went to Magic City and finished shooting the video. And Cam was like, yeah, man, come on. And so I went with them to Magic City, and that was the first time we went to Magic City. I still haven't been back, so I'm like, it probably won't be like that night again. But that was like a real night. And while I was there, I networked with the Right Media people, Sam, and he literally was like, well, shoot, let me know a day that you want to come up to our studio, and I'll give you a tour, show you what we doing. And I went up there with my homie Trey Rue, and he was like, well, shoot, if you want to do something, come out and work with us.
Wow.
Be a PA. It's unpaid, but if you want to work, and I did it, and I did a whole bunch of stuff with them. Like Sam Green put me on when it comes to film. Like everything I know about producing, I learned from him because he was like the dopest producer out here.
That is amazing.
Putting together budgets, organizing stuff, creating pitch decks. Like I learned all that from Sam, and just assisting the different people. And they Right Media was doing everything. They was doing all the Marvel movies, any of the music videos out here with Thug, Future, Gunna. Sam gave me my biggest plug. He allowed me to be to set design for Gunna. So if you look up the music video Gunna Big Shot, I designed that set, and I modeled it off of one of the studios at Patchwerk.
That is so dope. Listen, you know what is so dope about everything that you do? You've literally like learned hands-on.
Yeah.
With everything. And I like to emphasize that because I'm a college dropout. I had my son at 19. I attempted to go to college, didn't work out. I'm trying to work, raise a new baby. Everything I've learned has been hands-on experience, you know, watching videos or working with people who's taught me how to do stuff. Sounds like that's been your journey as well.
Oh yeah, I went to YouTube University.
Me too.
Majored in Googlenomics.
Bruh, that's where I got my degree from too. Nah, for real. And it's like, I don't discourage anybody from going to college by any means. However, don't use it as an excuse to not be successful because you can't go to college. Maybe they can't afford it or whatever.
Yeah.
You can make it happen. You are the epitome of, I made this happen out the mud. Yeah. I love that. I love your journey.
I'm still making it too. It's every day is a work day.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this. This is something I like to ask people. When you wake up in the morning, you open your eyes, what's the first thing you do?
Oh, wow. That's something I never really thought about. What is the first thing I do? I try to break the habit of looking at my phone. That's one thing I try not to do. I don't really have a routine. Like I would go work out or I go walking. I was doing that.
Yeah.
And I stabbed my foot in the ocean, and I haven't been running and walking lately. But
no.
Going to the gym is definitely in the morning. Like my cousin be dragging me out of bed sometimes, but that's definitely one thing I do.
It's a great way to start your day. Get your energy and your blood pumping.
Yeah, I used to go walking on mountains and stuff.
Me too. That's my favorite thing to do. Most definitely. That is amazing. Do you have I know that, you know, you kind of take a little bit from each, you know, religion and stuff, but do you have a relationship with your higher power? Maybe you I talk to God every day.
Oh yeah, I definitely do. Like, and I'm still learning like what that relationship is. I'm trying to learn like his name and what that name is. Like, there's so many different names. Like I said, I grew up knowing his name is Jehovah. Yeah. There's Elohim. There's Allah. There's so many different names. So I'm always trying to learn. But I definitely had a moment in Africa where I felt that energy.
Absolutely.
And it was a very spiritual moment. Like I was on a mountain and everything.
Gosh.
It was magnificent.
I want to live like inside of a mountain. Like, can I? Me and my dad talk about this. I'm telling you, my dad. So you guys would get along great. We talk about like if we could like literally carve a hole and just live inside of a mountain, because it's energy. Yeah. You know, like stones, granite, running water. That's all energy.
I would love to live off the land. Like my goal is to buy my own farm one day.
To grow your own food as well.
Oh yeah. Already, I'm a vegetarian. So
I was just gonna ask. You read my mind. Yeah. I'm a vegan. I don't eat nothing but plant-based food. Yeah. How long you been vegetarian?
I'm just starting again. I did like half a year, and it was the greatest ever. Like I felt energy at my fingertips. I went to sleep and woke up easy. It felt great. Then I went to my grandma's house in Michigan, and they was barbecuing, and I hadn't had her food in so long. So I had grabbed a few burgers. And that broke my vegetarian streak, but yeah, I'm back on having ate meat all February so far.
Good for you.
Again, but I don't want to be a vegan, but I like vegetarianism.
Absolutely. You know, honestly, for me, the main reason I went vegan is because I started developing like food intolerances. I noticed that when I ate red meat, even like the good red meat, my stomach would be tore up. Dairy, tear my stomach up. The only thing that really didn't bother me would be like chicken and salmon and stuff like that. But, you know, I about a year ago started eating a little bit of chicken again, but then I noticed my digestive system started throwing off. I said, you know what? Let me just go back to veganism, because that's what makes my belly happy, is plant-based, you know? But trust me, I be missing them good burgers and them steaks. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
man, people knew me for loving burgers. So, but I was giving up meat when I was young. Like, I stopped eating pork at like 14, 15.
Good.
I said, I grew up like, I said, my grandpa was a Black Panther and he didn't eat meat. And I got hip to Malcolm X and just like that whole like culture of the Muslims and stuff, and talking to the brothers on the corner and everything. So I read his biography at a young age, and one of the things that just stuck out to me was like not eating pork. And so I stopped eating pork as a kid, and then I stopped eating beef. I stopped with dairy.
Absolutely.
And I was working my way up to like just being a vegetarian.
We have to think about it. Animals are sick. Animals get sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're injecting them with these antibiotics and stuff, whether they say it or not. Sometimes labels say no antibiotics. How do we know?
They might not be injecting them, but they're eating it.
They're eating it, and then we're putting it in our body. Like, what really kind of changed my mind is I watched that documentary called What the Health.
Oh, yeah.
After I watched that, because I have a friend of mine who actually, he's a music artist that I'm now managing. He's a fitness guru, trainer, and he's vegan. And he was the one that said, go watch What the Health. After I watched, I literally cried watching it, of how they treat those animals.
Yeah.
I said, I never want to eat another animal again.
That will F your head up when you see
It
that.
will.
There's a bunch of stuff out there that will F your head up. Like,
nah, for real. We have to, at the end of the day, we have to be mindful of what we put in our bodies. We have to do stuff in moderation, because even too much of a good thing is still not good for us. You know what I'm saying? We can't overdo some stuff.
Even water.
I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Even water, like, you have to drink it, but you can overdo it. My dad that's been his motto since I can remember. Even too much of a good thing is not good for you. And it's truth. We have to figure out what works for us and do it in moderation. I love everything you stand by. What do you got coming up? Do you have like any type of festival shows or anything that you're involved with?
I don't. My plan, I do have a plan to get in a festival to, I want to submit one of our documentaries to win another Grammy.
Good for you.
Not Grammy, another Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get a second Emmy. That's like on my goal sheet right now.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Listen, thank you for sharing your journey.
Yeah.
And sharing your story. Anybody who's interested in working with you on any level, whether it be you or somebody, you know, that one of your team members for graphic design, or maybe to produce their podcast, or you do a photo shoot, how can people get in contact with you?
They can call the studio. What is it? 404-874-9880. Ask for Keyshawn. You can follow me on Instagram at Fantasy Images, FANTASYIMAGES. I'm normally the first one that pops up. And hit me up. I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not a judgmental person. Like, even the crazy people. I've done some crazy projects where it's really weird, but it's like it's not even about the money either. It's about that people really do have dreams.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like, I respect the fact that even the craziest dreams, if you put money up to do it, it could look stupid. It could actually be whack. But the fact that you took the shot to make it and do it despite it all, like, I gotta respect it.
I agree with that 100%. I'm with you on that, because who am I to say, nah, that ain't it? Because there's somebody else out there who may love it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like you. I'm a very non-judgmental person. I try to stay neutral. I am very neutral with stuff, because I want to uplift people. Maybe right now it might not be up to par, but if they keep working, they could be the greatest.
Yeah, you never know who you're working with.
Exactly.
That, like, you never know. Like, when I did what was it? It's so many moments. I know we coming to the end. It's so many moments. I will say though, like, you just never know who you're working
Absolutely.
with. You never know what a project will do. Like, when I did some interviews for MC Breed documentary, that won an Emmy.
It's amazing.
You know, and that's on my award list. I'm an Emmy cinematographer. Like,
good for you.
But I never thought that was gonna happen off of that project.
Yeah.
So it's like, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. And shout out to all the people that, you know, they get up every day and they don't know what they're doing, but they just believe that it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to y'all, because it could, like, it'll be unexpected.
Yep.
but just keep going, as they say.
Absolutely. Who do you want to shout out to? I know throughout the conversation, you've definitely paid homage to a lot of people that's helped you. Is there anybody else that you want to show some love to?
Man, it's so many people. I got this thing, like, even when I've been like those articles that people do online, like I just really like the whole like giving flowers thing. Like I've always been like that, like showing love. Like it's just something that I feel like people, they do it a lot more now, but there was definitely a time in just our culture where we didn't want to give praise to the people that help us. It was all like, nah, I did it all on my own. It was me. But forever, I've always just been like, yo, I appreciate if you help me, because I was always an outcast. So even to the people that, talked to me when it was not cool to talk to me, you know what I'm saying, I always appreciated them and gave them their praise then, because it was like, you don't got to do that.
That's right. You are absolutely right.
I always try to show love to people. There's so many people that I'd be like, man, I want to shout out, because everyone's helped me on my journey, even to the people that I don't talk to anymore, because I haven't always been the best person. I've made my mistakes. I've done bad things, and I've lost good relationships. But even to those people, like, I wouldn't be where I'm at without you being my friend at one point, without you showing me some love, without you helping me when I was down. Like, so I appreciate everyone, even if I've done you wrong. Like, I appreciate it just for the fact that you was trying to be my friend in a moment where I might have been kind of off my rocker. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to show
You're giving
love.
Thanks.
Yeah, I give thanks. I just always want to give thanks, because it is a journey, you know what I'm saying? And people have been patient with me, People have really been patient with me. I haven't always been the most easiest person to work with, you know what I'm saying? And I'm people call me arrogant, because I'm really that person where even if I just have a rock and a stick, I feel like I can do whatever I can. I feel like I can do it.
Absolutely,
I feel like I can pull it off. And sometimes I really can't, and I really do mess up, and I look crazy. But it's like I just really have that belief. So shout out to the people that stuck with me even when I've looked crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I understand if you can't be around me anymore type of thing, but I do appreciate that you showed me love, you showed me care and patience. To the people that surround me now, like I still appreciate, even there's people like that really don't like me, like I appreciate you because you've helped me in certain moments. Like and it's a really weird balance, because people will say you're fake for doing that, but it's not fake to me. I can acknowledge that you did something good for me, and I can also acknowledge that we might not get along, or I might have did this, or you might have did that. Like, I can admit, like, you pissed me off with this, but you did help me over here.
It happens.
Yeah.
We're human beings. We have emotions. We all go through stuff. Not everything's going to be perfect. I'm like you. There's people who I don't really deal with anymore, but I'll never be out here on social media bashing them or talking junk about them. I'll pay homage where it's due, giving thanks. Giving thanks.
Yeah.
Giving thanks because maybe they did help me with something, or they taught me a lesson, so we have to absolutely do that.
Yeah, I always say, like, when I'm on stage for like a Grammy or Oscar or something, like I'm gonna have like 100 people on stage, like
taking them with you.
Yeah, like I really want to, like, on some, like, because I'm probably gonna be, I definitely feel like I'm gonna be one of the most like well-known people in the world, and I think I'm gonna pull up to a red carpet on some, like, I brought my whole family, got my aunts and everybody just on stage, and just I like giving people experiences.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandma's, like, I would love to have them on stage, just because it's that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I love giving. Yeah, we from the hood, so we ain't experienced a whole lot outside of that. So I be wanting to give anybody that's around me like this magnificent experience to live, because you don't get to do that all the time.
That's right. And that's what has made Patchwerk so legendary, because it's an experience.
It is super experience.
When people go places, they want, it's all about the perception and the aesthetics. They want that experience, and that's what they get with you as a person, and at Patchwerk too. It's all about that experience.
I'll say I do. There is like a few people I do gotta like give thanks to for real, because and you're one of them. You're definitely one of them. Scribbles too, because I wouldn't know about you if Scribbles didn't do this and hire me to film behind the scenes for Black women and women in general. I gotta shout them out, because most of my success comes from women. Like, one of my first clients out here was Tamiko Hope.
Yeah.
Like, Tamiko hired me and put me on everything.
That's so dope.
Like Tamiko is one of the realest ones. Kirsten Daniels, she put me on to everything. You know what I'm saying? Keisha and Brandy with Mama's on the Move. Kirsten put me on to them, and then Keisha and Brandy, they put me on to a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? These are all black women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Erica Daniel, she's Curtis Daniel's wife. She be schooling me. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah. Man, I'm thinking of Auntie T. She let me live with her. Curtis, one of Curtis's friends, but I call her my auntie. She let me live with her when I was homeless and sleeping in my car.
Oh.
I was sleeping outside of Patchwerk in my car for like a year. And eventually word got around to Curtis that, yeah, Keyshawn's sleeping in his car. And so he had asked one of his friends, she lived in Atlantic Station. She was getting her house built or something. So she was just staying there temporarily. And he was like, you mind if he stays there and pays rent? Because she had an extra room. And she let me live there.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, so shout out Auntie, you know what I'm saying? She definitely, in a time I really needed a place, you know what I'm saying? Because I was really in my car, like thugging it out.
Yeah.
So like shout out to the women that's always been here, because I wouldn't be here in a good position without women. Like how I shout out Pink, like Pink Noise, she's dope. It's such a big list, and even I'm not saying that like men haven't done nothing.
Of course, but women are nurturing.
They are, yeah. Y'all are like y'all, and y'all really care. Y'all really support. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have met Nipsey Hussle without Tamiko Hope. You know what I'm saying? Like women are really big, but I do gotta give it to the men. Like Curtis Daniels, he gave me my shot. You know what I'm saying? Oz gave me my shot. Mike Wilson, like Mike, he done taught me a lot about business and logistics. Ryan Wilson, the big homie, like Ryan Wilson, he called me to do work with the Gathering Spot, you know, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I had told him like, man, like, cause I always, you know, love the Gathering Spot. Like it's one of those, it's a dream type of things.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing I can say. I'm blessed to work with 2 black companies. Like that's why I love Atlanta. Like most of my income is from black owned businesses.
Absolutely.
And so Ryan, he hit one of his goals, him and TK, shout out both of them. They wanted to still take care of their staff and their community, even during the pandemic, when they said that you can't gather. The Gathering Spot was still up and running.
That is amazing.
And they still was paying their staff. And I had told Ryan, like, yo, I'll do this work because I just love this brand.
Yeah.
And you don't got to pay me. And he was like, nah, you still get paid.
That's
you know
amazing.
What I'm saying? So I got to shout out Ryan Wilson, you know what I'm saying? That's the young God right there. It's so many people, you know, Simone, 88 Vintage. She's been the partner in crime to help me grow the media department. Like the media department wouldn't be as big without Simone. That's a black woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's a super professional. And like I said, she's the creative director for a lot of big people out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so many people that I could shout out, because the list goes on and on and on. Like I can go to my grandma's, I can go to my grandpa. Like I will sit here all day giving thanks to people. Even like Lanique, she told me how to give thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like the OG at in Little 5 Points with the record store.
Yeah.
Like I got what is it called? It's a great book. The Richest Man in Babylon. I got it from his bookstore, and growing up I was always in Barnes and Noble. I have literally over 100 books still, and I'd never been to a black bookstore until I came to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I got some amazing books out of his bookstore at the I can't remember the record store's name for the life of me, but it's in Little
5 Points. Yeah.
And so it's like I will go through and remember the smallest thing.
Absolutely, because it was an experience.
It's an experience, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff that I've done, I never thought I would do it. Like I didn't think I would live this long, type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very much like in awe every day, because it wasn't planned, and I still have way more aspirations, but those aspirations are linked to like giving back.
Yeah.
Like I like one of my favorite cousins, Savante. Like he has Down syndrome, but growing up, that's like to this day, like I love him. You know what I'm saying? That is my best friend, Savante, and it's like I would love to be able to have the resources to like create a program where you know, people that might have Down syndrome, autism, they'll be able to come into like a studio and do photo shoots, do video, record a song. And it might sound crazy to us,
right?
But to them, that's their creative expression that people don't have the patience to service them.
Absolutely.
Like I would love to do stuff like that. Like shout out Toya Brown. She was the manager at Patchwerk. I call her the queen of Patchwerk while she was there. But she definitely inspired me wanting, because she was doing a big sister program. So it was dope seeing stuff like that. It makes me like, man, I would love to do a big brother program if I was in the right position. You know what I'm saying?
You still can, for sure.
James Maccabee, he runs the Boys and Girls Club in Lansing, and he is the dad of Lansing. James Maccabee. I was a hoodlum. I wasn't the worst, but I was bad. I was in I was in the principal's office. I was in all the offices, but at the Boys and Girls Club, James Maccabee kept me in line. He kept all of us in line. Shout out James Maccabee.
That's
you know what I'm
dope.
saying? He is the dad of Lansing, and he takes care of a lot of kids. You know, so shout out him because he raised me. Freaking Coach Davis. He's my football coach for defense. Like I love Coach Bogan and everything, but I was on defense. I wasn't on offense a lot. So Coach Davis, he taught me how to be a man. Like he's a man's man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like I said, the outcast, and he put me on his wing. He really tried to help me, and I wish I wasn't as hard headed. I probably would have played a little more. I would have started a little bit more, but he was really there for me in a time where it just felt like, you know, I didn't have my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Coach Davis, like he gave me a lot of building blocks that helped me to this day. Pastor Tracy, you know what I'm saying, in Lansing, Pastor Tracy, I went to him literally in tears. You know what I'm saying? And just like, yo, I've done some really messed up stuff. I don't know what to do. And, you know, I didn't really build on the relationship with the church and Pastor Tracy just because of certain things. But when I went to him, even though, you know, things had happened, he accepted me. He opened his arms, you know what I'm saying? And he brought some brothers in and they prayed for me. He gave me some books, and I've definitely like been recovering since that moment. That was a few years ago, and that was a big moment where I really needed someone.
Yeah.
Pastor Tracy was there as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like I really can keep going down the list because I really appreciate people, because I believed in myself. Like I said, I wanted to be the greatest explorer and scientist this world's ever seen.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I was going to do that. I just really wanted to.
Yeah.
I really wanted to live. And there was times where I felt like I can't.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really have to shout out. And I sometimes I don't know if I'm doing the right or wrong thing, but I got to shout out Diari. You know, she was my best friend, and we don't talk anymore, but she saved my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She really did. Alexis, that's my cousin. She saved my life. It's so many different people, you know what I'm saying, that was really there for me. So I can keep going. I'll get emotional. I really will.
You gonna make me? I told you, gonna make me emotional because I'm so big on like family, and I don't even mean just our blood family, like our extended family too. People that come into our life that become a part of our like everyday. Those are family too, and it is emotional talking about it. I cry a lot. I'm like a cry baby because I get super emotional about stuff like that, because it's like we just have to think about one day we're not going to be here to talk about it. So it's so important that we do while we're here.
Yeah. So yeah, giving thanks is a real thing. I want to, and I will one day do some really dope things in the world. And I know how they say like, yeah, you should work with your family and friends and stuff. And I believe it to a certain extent, but I believe I'll create a system where I can give opportunities to friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Like how Atlanta, I'm inspired by the city of Atlanta, and I would love Lansing. I want Lansing, where I'm from. There's so much talent in Lansing, and I would love to see Lansing become what it is. Because, you know, we're only an hour away from Detroit. Yeah. Detroit's popping right now.
Yeah, it is.
Super popping.
Facts.
And Lansing could be popping too, you know what I'm saying? And I believe in my city, you know what I'm saying? A lot of dope people have came from there, like DJ Infamous. He's Ludacris' DJ.
Yep.
You know, Inf been working with him forever.
Yeah.
You know, shout out DJ Peanut, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Needles, he's from Lansing. CJ works with ET the Hip Hop Preacher. He's a big red, you know, just like me. So it's a lot of people from Lansing that have done some amazing things and have changed the world, you know what I'm saying? And those people inspire me, because I'm like, yeah, I want to be like them. I want to show people from Lansing that you can do it. Like everything I got on too, like under here, I got like a shirt from my high school, a Sexton shirt. I got some Moneyball on. Shout out Desmond Ferg, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Ron Ferg. They're the first black businessmen outside of like my grandpa that I seen
that
ran a business. There's a sports clothing store called Moneyball Sportswear.
Yeah.
And he opened it in the hood. And Desmond Ferguson, he went to he played in the NBA at I think the Timberwolves for a few years.
Okay.
And he took that money and opened a store in Lansing.
Yeah.
He invested back into a city, and he put his first store on the south side, right in the hood, right at Quality Dairy. Quality Dairy is like I guess how y'all have like not really American delis, but y'all it's a convenience store.
Right.
And so he put it right by QD, and we was young kids. Like it was me, Tug, Armani, Ball, D Jones. It was all of us, man. Like we would go in the store and we'd just be kicking it, and Desmond and Ron let us kick it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us being on the streets, you know, they let us be rocking up in there, playing our music and everything, and giving us jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like Armani was working at Moneyball, and I was seeing them selling the shirts. I was inspired to get me a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like shout out those two, because those are two black men that showed us how to be businessmen. And you know what it means to run a store, have a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And now they're one of the biggest sportswear distributors in Michigan. They got like 5 different locations throughout Michigan, in Detroit and Lansing and malls. Like they just had their grand opening headquarters last year. You know what I'm saying? And I wear Moneyball every day.
So inspiring, isn't it?
Like Moneyball is my thing. Like I love Moneyball because it's a black owned brand, and I'm very much a proponent of, you know, spending in your community.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
As you should. What is their website?
Moneyball.com, moneyballsportswear.com.
Okay.
And you can find them on Instagram at Moneyball Sportswear. And like I said, they've Drake's done worn their jerseys. You know what I'm saying? They've had Drake wear their jerseys and stuff. They one of the biggest. They got all the colleges in Michigan. They create jerseys for the schools.
Wow.
And I said, it's a black man. You know
I love that.
Him and his brother. It's all family owned business. So like they inspired me as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I let them know that, and they come to Atlanta. Eventually they're gonna open one up here. I'm putting that into existence.
No, we manifesting it. Yeah. ATL, because ATL is definitely one of those cities where people can come to, and that's what I've been coming here since the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm an OG. I came out here for Freaknik, so I got to experience Freaknik.
That is the one thing I wish I could have experienced.
I'll tell you, it was probably one of the best experiences that I've ever had, because you know what was so beautiful about it? It was just fun. People were in the streets turning up. There was no craziness. I never witnessed no violence. People were just having a good time. And it was me and my homegirl, Delina Williams. Shout out my girl, Delina. We used to drive. We drove up here for a couple years in a row. And I was like, I'm going to live there one day. I loved the culture of it. I loved everything about it. And I just, like you said, there's so many beautiful black owned businesses out here. Like it's a city where people can come to and thrive if they're not from here, or if they are from here. And I got to pay homage to the city too. You're absolutely right. Atlanta's just that spot.
Atlanta is that spot. Like I wouldn't be me without Atlanta.
Me neither.
You know what I'm saying? I've watched so many people get on in Atlanta and grow. Even if they was like already connected, I've seen them grow even bigger. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like since I've been down here. Like shout out Melita the Mogul. Melita, man, I don't, you know, I'm not like saying I'm her friend, but I love Melita because she treated me like a really good friend. Yeah. Like she gave me, I manage an artist named Ball Forever. That's my favorite artist, my homie.
Yeah.
She put us on our first tour. I had asked her, like, cause she was managing Ski Master Slump God at a time.
Yeah.
And she ran this whole tour. And she put Ball as an opener on this tour. Yeah. And she didn't have to do that, you know what I'm saying? And now she's the VP at Warner, I do believe. Like she
doing it.
Yeah, she manages OG Parker. Like Melita is a freaking legend. When they say mogul, like she's a real mogul. And that's a black woman that put me on and gave me good advice. You know what I'm saying? Kiara Ray, like she's one of the greatest makeup artists in the world. Yeah. She's done Grammys. She does makeup for like what is it, Vogue? I don't know the makeup world and fashion and stuff, but she's been to like the New York Fashion Show. Like she's a real, what is it, international makeup artist. She's been to Dubai, like. And I went to high school with her, black woman, and she anytime I call her, she gives me the energy and the time that she doesn't have to. Like I'd be calling her like, yo, I might have this dope opportunity. I'd be all excited, and it don't happen. I'd be like, yeah, I'm talking to Sony, and they're gonna do, and it don't happen. But she still, you know, allows me to dream. And then she does help me. Like if I need a contact, she'll try to help me.
Yeah.
And like that's one person that I've always said, like, man, when I really get that budget, I'm hiring her, because for years now I call her like, yo, I might have this one, and it doesn't happen. But when it does happen, oh man, Kiera, we're gonna do some dope stuff. So that's a black woman she's got me some dope contacts out here and work. And you know what I'm saying? I could keep going on. It's like so many dope people that I want to shout out, because I just never thought I'd be in this position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're giving thanks.
Yeah.
You're giving and you're grateful too. And that's the thing, is like oftentimes people get put into positions because other people help them and they don't show gratitude. And then they wonder why things kind of crumble. You have to be grateful. You have to give thanks. You have to pay homage to the people who have helped you along your journey, because we cannot do this by ourselves. Yeah. You know, so listen, I'm with you. There's a bazillion people I would love to I could do a whole show just giving shout outs. You know what I'm saying? I
really could too. Like we probably been talking like the last 20 minutes. I'm just saying thank you. Because it's like I said, I never did this before. So it's like in this moment, it's like to me, based on where I'm from, it's like I've made it in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like from Lansing to where I'm at now, and it has nothing to do with finances. You know what I'm saying? Because I still haven't hit 100K yet, and I'm working on that.
You will.
You know what I'm saying? But just the adventure, the journey, like it's been
priceless.
It's super priceless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The biggest shout out is God. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do be praying, and I be seeing prayers answered, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even though the best laid plans of mice and men often fail, God still blesses you.
Look, we are all God's children. He loves all of us.
Yeah.
Not any of us more than others, because some of us might do better in life. No, we are all God's children, and he loves all of us equally, and we have to understand that. We have to give thanks. We have to pay homage. Before I moved to Atlanta, I wanted a complete fresh start. I got saved because I was like, I kind of want this fresh start in my life. I'm moving to a brand new city by myself. I knew some people here, but I didn't like have any close homies or no family here. And I just wanted to be covered. Protect me. I'm going to a whole new city by myself, and it's been amazing. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to God. And shout out to yourself. Shout out to yourself, because you have, man, your journey is amazing. You've pushed through so much. You talked about, you know, you had some homelessness. You know what it's like to be at the bottom, like dire straits.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Gip. That's my homie from Goody Mob. He was here with me not too long ago, and he said that the most successful people and the biggest people come from dire situations. And that stuck with me. That's true. People who have really experienced the bottom, down and out in that dire situation, and you can find your way out of it. Man, if you can find your way out of those type of situations, which you have, you're destined for greatness.
Oh yeah, my grandpa taught me that. He the one that had a farm. Like he taught me how to hustle. Like I know how to work on cars. Like I'm a real mechanic out here. Like I'll change your engine out. He taught me all that.
You don't smoke cigarettes, do you?
Nah, I don't smoke.
the mechanics got their cigarette. They be talking to you when they say.
I'm always gonna find a way to make some money. Like
nah, for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out a way to dig out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a beautiful journey. Like I appreciate. You know, I give thanks to the words you're saying. I don't really hear that a lot. You know what I'm saying? People do say it, but it don't really register, because you know how they say, like when you in it,
yes,
it doesn't feel like a certain way.
I get it.
And I've been trying to get out of my head to just feel it and embrace it, because like I'm working with awesome people that is giving me opportunities to do awesome things, and I always want to be aware of that, because it is hard out here. It's hard to get it's hard to get anyone to spend $1.
Nah, facts.
And two, it's just hard to get in good positions.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To be successful. Like shout out my Uncle Derek. Like he's an actor, and he's actually a SAG actor. Been on like actually filmed with Tyler Perry. Been on stuff with Angela Bassett.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I watched him. Like he's one of the reasons I became a good photographer, because I took all his headshots when he started.
Okay.
And I watched him go from just like, you know, small local movies to we've watched him on NBC. You know, on like that show with the firefighters and stuff, and like the cop shows, like he's actually has lines and stuff. We've seen him on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? Like I've watched that journey and that progress.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. Like there was times where he wasn't working at all, and then there was times like, yo, I got this giant role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to people that really believe, even in the moments where you don't, you gotta keep going on the journey, because one day you're gonna get that call for something. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on stuff where I'm just like, man, like I was on the game. I be acting on the side. One of my biggest dreams is to be the best like C or D list actor.
Yeah.
Like you know how there's those actors in movies like you don't know their real name, but anytime you see him, like, yo, I like that guy.
Yes.
I want to be that guy in movies.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be super famous. I just want to be that guy that you see in movies or shows, and you be like, yo, that's dude.
You know who you need to hook up with? I'm gonna connect. There's a couple guys, and you may already. Do you know June from out here? Mm-mm. He does a ton of independent films. He's the one that's doing the what is it? The Crunk movie. It's about Atlanta. But he does a lot of independent films. Definitely, that would be somebody you could connect with, because he always is casting for different roles and stuff.
Casting stuff. Sometimes I'd be like, man, I'm so busy, but I've gotten casted in some dope stuff.
Yeah.
I was on the game when they brought the game back, the football show, and I was on the football team. That was a dope experience. I was in a Monica music video.
Nice.
It was super sweet.
Were you dancing?
No, I wasn't dancing. I was acting though. It was Monica and Lil Baby, and Sam Green. He put me on to that, and that was a dope experience. So I like doing stuff like that, where it's like, I don't want to be famous.
Right. That's me too.
But I've kind of accepted that I'm gonna be well known.
Yes.
I'm gonna be well known because I want to do fun stuff, and I really do want to show like black boys, not just black boys, but I'm particular because I'm black.
Of course.
Afro American. So I want to inspire other Afro Americans and young boys from cities that might not have a lot of opportunities. I be wanting to show them like, yeah, you can really get out here and do it.
Absolutely.
And like I said, everything I got on like is something to do with a story. Like this is from my homie. Like I said, my shirt under here, which I don't want to take off, but it's like, that's my high school. This is my mom's that she got from her dad.
I love it.
Way back when she was a little kid.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Invaluable
like,
to
everything
you.
I got is like, I got this from Lanique's. Or no, my mom actually made this one. She had someone make this for me. So I always try to wear stuff and show people like, you don't need Nike. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't need Nike. You don't need Gucci. That stuff is dope, but it's like when they say wear your heart on your sleeve, I do it in a way where I want to wear where I've come from.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? And that makes you stand out. Like me wearing Moneyball down here, people will start calling me Moneyball.
Yeah.
Because they just saw it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And seeing that was different than a Gucci shirt,
right.
A Nike shirt. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to stand out, you know what I'm saying, and not look like everybody else. You know what I mean? Because you don't, when you look like everybody else, you blend in.
We don't want to fit in. We want to stand out.
Yeah, you definitely want to stand out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because in this game, it not just even in entertainment, like in business, McDonald's stands out from Burger King.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Chick-fil-A stands out from Taco Bell.
No, facts. Now that is big facts. No shade to Taco Bell, but we prefer Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But you are absolutely right. You have to find ways. And I say that a lot in my interviews. You don't never want to fit in. Mm-hmm. You want to find ways to stand out. And I think that's what I love so much about the business that I'm in, because I feel like I stand out. You know what I'm saying? I've become a successful white woman in a predominantly black business, and I love it.
You got awards. I was looking at your awards out there.
And they're over here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love what I do, and I give thanks as well. Absolutely.
What inspired you to do this?
I had a DJ friend of mine back home. Well, let me just go back a little before that. Okay. So my career path for 12 years, I was in outside sales and marketing. So I used to do like what's called symposiums, where I would be in front of a crowd of people to present my company and what we did, the company I was working for, right?
That's interesting.
So I never had an issue with being in front of big crowds of people. I had a friend of mine, his name is DJ Short E, and back in Tampa, he asked me if I wanted to come out and start like emceeing at his events, because he was a vinyl DJ. And he didn't really like being on the mic. He was just really a turntablist. And I was like, yeah, why not? So I literally started hosting and emceeing in the clubs.
Wow.
Yeah, and so my first gig when I came to Atlanta was hosted at Magic City. But
and I can't come to Atlanta without going to Magic City.
I hosted there for a whole year, and I met so many dope people. But going back to Tampa, I started putting artist showcases and stuff together because I loved live music and I loved like raw talent. And then I met my business partner, of course. Shout out OG Bigger Rankin, the legend, and rap juggernaut Kingpin. And they're the ones that convinced me to move to Atlanta. And my son graduated high school in 2013. Well, 30 days later, he left and went to the military.
That's why I graduated high school.
Yeah. You're my son's age. I'm your mama.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so as soon as my son graduated high school, literally 30 days later, I packed my bags and I moved here. I was on a mission, and it was the best decision I ever made. I don't know that what I've been able to do here, having a whole business without a college degree, I would have been able to do back home. It feels like you get more support oftentimes when you leave your city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Atlanta's just that spot. I love it here. I think I always will want a home here, but I would like to have a secondary home, like maybe
Tampa,
maybe, or Africa.
Yeah.
My son, when he was in the military, he had the opportunity to go to South Africa and train the soldiers down there. And he said it was the best experience ever. Like, he absolutely loved being down there, the culture. And, my son's biracial, you know what I'm saying? So he's a black man in society. And, that was one of the things that I always instilled in him. I said, you can do anything you want. You can do anything you want. And he's very successful. Shout out to Terrell. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
What's his name?
Terrell.
You want to know what my full name is?
Is your name Terrell?
It's Keyshawn Tyrell D. Gillum.
Look at that.
Yeah, Tyrell. My mom says Tyrell. My dad says Terrell.
Yeah, that is so dope. See, we're connected.
Yeah.
We're connected.
That's cool, actually. Wow.
Yeah. We both have some great stories. We'll have to definitely talk more out this and maybe do a hike or something together. That would be dope.
We definitely do. Because you got your platform is fire. Like, I love this. Like, I think it's super dope.
I love, and that's what I want. I like to create an experience where people come and feel comfortable. That's why I don't have a bunch of people hanging around. Either Jai's here with me or Tamari is the other guy that will come in and help me. But outside of that, I don't want people coming in here feeling weird, like I've got random people just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could like to create that comfortable environment. But my last question for you, and this is the most important one of the whole conversation, right?
Okay, yeah.
We're live. Where are we live at?
Industry's
most wanted. Big Industry's most wanted. You have to tell everybody what makes you the industry's most wanted.
Because I'm Keyshawn.
Tyrell.
D. Gillum. Yeah, that's what makes that.
Straight like that.
It's straight like that. You know what's funny? That's actually a thing people started saying when I was in high school. And no matter where I went in the world, that follows me. Like, they've started saying it down here in Atlanta, and I didn't create that. Like, it started in high school. People used to do it as making fun of me, like, oh yeah, that's Keyshawn. But then I started doing stuff out here for real, and people was like, oh shoot, that's Keyshawn. Then
Put some respect on it.
Yeah, and people was like, how did you pull that off? And people start saying, well shoot, it's Keyshawn.
Yeah.
And so it's because I'm me. That's what makes me the industry's most wanted.
I appreciate it. Give me some love, man. Boom.
Yeah.
It's been the dopest, but we up out of here, y'all.
Peace.
I don't even know when to kill me, so I gotta keep it going. Yeah, man, racing on them drugs, I'm on the run.